Because every time you say Mike Tyson, you whoop your own ass.
It just creates a psychological problem.
If I was Jake Paul right now, I would be shitting my pants.
Oh, bro.
Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. There's a dark chamber in his mind that he can open up. The question is, can his body move along with it?
Let's do it, Jakey. God, wouldn't that be cool?
A good large percentage would want to see you knock his block off.
I would not get into the ring with him unless he had no pulse, rigor mortis had set in. I would not mess with Mike Tyson. I don't care that he's 57. Do not mess with Mike Tyson.
Culturally, you versus Jake Paul, like this young YouTuber takes on one of the greatest heavyweight champions that's ever lived. Yeah. Oh, he's a lovely guy. His brother's great too. Logan's a really nice guy. Please? That fight would be gigantic.
I think we can make more than $245 million, brother.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky.
And you're apprehensive. And once you're apprehensive, it's over with.
Please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please.
Boy, he's gonna regret that. All the old guys are like pulling for him, like, come on, Mike, come on. One more, you got one more in you.
Hey, I'll do just that for you.
Even coming off the best, I still think he wins. Coming off...
It's hard to say because you never bet against a 27-year-old
No, I get it.
fight. People don't think Jake Paul's really good. Those people are all people that can't get by the fact that he's a YouTube guy.
Today, we delve deep into the saga of Mike Tyson at 58, a living legend whose fists still echo through the corridors of boxing history. And in the other corner, we have the brash internet icon turned pugilist, Jake Paul.
When you get challenged by someone who's a guy like a Jake Paul, does that piss you off? It's brave, it's bold of him, but it's kind of insulting.
Is he stepping into a lion's den, or is this the dawn of a new gladiatorial era?
It's a circus, all round.
Jake Paul circus.
It's a circus.
This man is a con man. He's a fake.
It's a circus.
Bit of a circus, I think.
He's a clown.
Witness Mike Tyson, a figure synonymous with destruction and fear inside the ring, now 58, training with the ferocity of a man who knows nothing but combat. Every jab, every hook he unleashes seems to defy the very essence of aging.
Tyson's explosiveness remains. But can he rediscover the stamina to contend at a pace?
This isn't merely a sports comeback. It's the reawakening of a force of nature that once ruled the heavyweight landscape with an iron fist.
It's risky for Mike Tyson.
And it will make Jake Paul the most hated man in boxing. Make no mistake about it, that is the plan.
Enter Jake Paul. From viral videos to controversial knockouts, Jake has carved a niche that straddles entertainment and athleticism.
Jake Paul's a bully, don't forget.
Is anyone tired of the circus act yet?
His bouts, often against opponents far removed from their prime or from entirely different fighting disciplines, all have nonetheless catapulted him into the limelight. But make no mistake, facing Tyson is not just another step up, it's a leap into a chasm of uncertainty and danger.
And Mike Tyson's that different thing.
Right.
Like, he could fuck him up. He's still that guy. If you watch him hit mitts.
Now let's pivot to a voice synonymous with combat sports analysis, Joe Rogan. Known for his deep dives into the intricacies of fighting, Rogan has often highlighted Tyson's legendary status and the sheer intimidation he brought to the ring.
But if that Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not going to make it. So you have to say,
Hey, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the fuck out.
And Mike Tyson's not going to lose his reputation against some dude off the internet.
Now, if you go out there and beat him, people are going to hate it's a career suicide.
a 57-year-old today is on testosterone replacement
That's
therapy.
the other thing I was going to ask, yeah.
It's not 57 in the Jack Johnson days. We're talking about 57 in the days of biological engineering.
His insights are not just observations, they are revelations from a seasoned observer of the fight game.
I work my ass off, honey.
Mike now weighs 230 pounds, and he's got these muscles in his forearms. So he's sitting there, and he's a different human. He's so intense that I was like, if this table was closer to him, I would be nervous. Like, I wouldn't be able to do my best job as a podcaster. That's the reason why this table is this width.
Jake wasn't just fighting the 58-year-old Tyson who'd mellowed with age, he was challenging the lingering ghost of Tyson's former self, the specter of what once had been the most feared man in boxing. Joe Rogan has marveled at Tyson's training regimes, often pointing out how Tyson, even past his prime, maintains a regimen that could only be described as brutally intense.
Mike Tyson, people talk to. People are there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation that I've talked to some people that do that. And it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries.
Rogan noted watching Mike Tyson hit pads at 58 is terrifying. The speed, the power, it's like he's carved out of granite. The guy is a freak athlete. His explosiveness, it's still there, and it's scary.
People that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Rogan often discusses the psychological aspect of fighting, especially how veteran fighters like Tyson carry an aura, an almost tangible presence that affects opponents before they even step into the ring. Tyson isn't just fighting with his fists, he's fighting with his reputation. When you step into a ring with Mike Tyson, you're not just fighting the man, you're fighting every bit of the myth surrounding him, Rogan has said.
Mike Tyson was the baddest man on this planet.
Absolutely. The most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
And he's still got that inside him. Whatever you want to call it, psycho rage or whatever it is.
Reflecting on Tyson's comeback, Rogan expressed both excitement and a hint of concern. It's incredible to see Mike back in shape, throwing punches with intent to demolish. But this comeback, it's about more than just nostalgia. It's about a man who's channeling his warrior spirit, once again, ape in a way that only Tyson can.
Tyson's a beautiful trade.
Rogan's enthusiasm for Tyson's training highlights not just the physical capabilities of Iron Mike, but also the emotional and psychological boost his presence gives to the sport. Every time Mike steps into a gym, let alone a ring, it electrifies the air. There's a voltage in his presence that reminds us why we love this sport so much, commented Rogan, capturing the collective sentiment of fight fans around the world. With Rogan's insights framing this clash, viewers can appreciate not just the spectacle of Tyson vs. Paul, but also the deeper narrative of legacy, resilience, and the timeless allure of combat sports.
It doesn't matter what prime of your life you're in. When you're competing with a guy that when you were a little boy, you had his picture on your wall and wanted to be like him.
It's just say you're preparing for a fight. Do not say his name to yourself.
Tyson's training at 58 isn't just a demonstration of physical fitness. It's a testament to a life dedicated to the art of boxing, an art that he and he alone seems to redefine with each passing year.
Every time you say the name, you just become a kid again.
They just find new ways to inspire US. Let's talk technique and terror, the hallmarks of Tyson's reign. Known for his peekaboo style, cultivated under the stern eye of Custos D'Amato, Tyson's ability to bob, weave, and unleash hell with explosive uppercuts and hooks is legendary. His approach isn't just about physical dominance, it's psychological warfare, breaking his opponents before the first punch lands. Rewind to battles against giants like Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, and Trevor Berbick, where Tyson not only won but dismantled these titans, often in the first round. These were not mere victories, they were statements. Yet Tyson's career also faced tumultuous lows, battles against Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, and Lennox Lewis, where the indomitable spirit was tested, sometimes faltering under pressure and personal turmoil. Jake Paul, on the other hand, represents a new era where social media clout can translate into a boxing career. His path has been strategic, picking fights that maximize attention and revenue, often leaving purists questioning the integrity of these matchups. Yet, there's no denying the physicality and commitment he brings to each fight, training like a true athlete, eager to prove his detractors wrong. For Tyson, this fight is less about reclaiming former glory, it's about reasserting his presence, proving that the embers of a once blazing inferno can still ignite a firestorm. For Paul, it's the ultimate gamble. A victory would not just silence critics, but elevate him to a status few could have envisioned. Yet the risk of a devastating defeat looms large, a stark reminder that the boxing gods are merciless arbiters. Imagine the scene, the bell rings, and history collides with the present. Tyson, the embodiment of boxing's brutal ballet, against Paul, the epitome of modern celebrity warfare. It's a clash of epochs, a confrontation where every punch will be scrutinized, every movement analyzed. Will Tyson's age-old power and speed dismantle the youthful vigor of Paul? Or will Paul's resilience and adaptive fighting style craft a narrative of shocking upset?
And, you know,
looked pretty serious.
Yeah, he's like, day 2, still one of me?
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, I'm 100% rooting for Mike Tyson.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Of course. Everybody should be.
However, as time has passed, Paul has begun to silence his critics. With each fight, he has shown improvement and a dedication to the sport that is hard to deny.
When people don't think Jake Paul's really good, those people are all people that can't get by the fact that he's a YouTube guy.
His knockout victories over former MMA fighters like Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley have raised eyebrows and forced the boxing world to take notice. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul has proven that he is more than just a YouTuber with gloves on.
Like, I had this argument with Dave Portnoy where he was trying to tell me he sucks, you know, and Tommy Fury sucks. I'm like, he does not suck. Don't say he sucks. You don't know what you're talking about.
You might not like him, but you should separate that.
You can't, you can't say, well, specifically Tommy Fury. He's like, he fights bums, he's fighting his Tommy Fury guy. I go, you're incorrect. As a person who understands combat sports, this guy's very skilled. He's very skilled. He's a very elite boxer. Like, I'm watching the combinations he throws, his movement, the way he steps and sets up shots, the way he's countering. He's a very high-level boxer. He's a real professional caliber boxer. And Jake Paul, that was his first loss. But it was a close loss. Jake Paul's a really good boxer, and he knocks a lot of people unconscious. And if he wasn't Jake Paul, the YouTube guy, just this wild kid coming up in the middleweight ranks or the light heavyweight ranks or whatever, cruiserweight, I guess he's in.
On the other side of the ring stands a legend, a man whose name is synonymous with boxing greatness, Mike Tyson. At 57 years old, Tyson is far removed from his prime, but his aura still looms large over the sport. Tyson's journey to this fight has been one of redemption and rediscovery. After years of turmoil and personal struggles, Tyson has found solace and purpose in the ring once again. Tyson's return to boxing has been nothing short of remarkable. His exhibition bouts against Roy Jones Jr. and Evander Holyfield have shown that Tyson still possesses the power and skill that made him a legend. While his age may have slowed him down, Tyson's ferocity and tenacity remain as strong as ever.
And everyone will see July 20th. I will prove them wrong once again.
I think you're suicidal. That's what I think.
Carnage.
I love the biggest challenges in the world. That's what's made my whole entire career, is taking big risks.
Taking place in the first place at all because of your differences, particularly your age.
Well, I don't see too many people critical about it. Look at this. Ha 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 ha.
Carnage.
Said, listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him.
Hey everyone, brace yourselves because today we're diving into a story that's been dominating headlines, stirring up controversy, and frankly, leaving us with more questions than answers. Yes, it's the Tyson vs. Paul saga where hype meets history, bravado meets experience, and ultimately, the talk meets reality, or does it? Let's unpack the whirlwind that led to the cancellation of one of the most hyped fights in recent history. Mike Tyson, an iconic titan of the ring renowned for his devastating knockouts and a presence that spells pure intimidation, vows to unleash carnage at 57, his words, not mine. He's set to face Jake Paul, the internet sensation who's turned viral fame into a polarizing boxing career. Tyson, the embodiment of raw power and relentless ferocity, is prepared to test a modern celebrity fighter whose credentials and career have sparked widespread debates across the sporting world. Then there's Jake Paul, charismatic, confident, and a master of media manipulation. He's been in the ring with athletes, but never a beast of Tyson's caliber. Leading up to the fight, he was all in, pushing the narrative, feeding the hype machine, until suddenly he wasn't. And then boom, Jake pulls out, citing personal reasons, the timing, just as the fight loomed close, set off a firestorm. Critics cried fear, while some fans speculated deeper issues at play. But let's not gloss over the voices that warned him.
I can't do what you do, mate, it's great. But in no way, shape or form can you claim to carry my sport. You absolute muppet.
Tony Bellew swiftly condemned Jake Paul's assertion of legitimacy in boxing, stressing that without battling genuine boxers,
hasn't even fought a boxer yet. So how can you claim to be carrying my sport when you haven't fought someone who comes from my sport? It's unbelievable.
One cannot claim to uphold the sport's heritage. Bellew's stern critique reflects a widespread concern that celebrity boxing undermines the true essence and integrity of the sport.
I wanted to murder Jake Paul, but it's bullshit, man. It's I mean, how old is Mike Tyson? 60?
57.
57. Jake Paul,
27.
You are a disgrace of a man.
Sean Strickland didn't just join the chorus of disapproval, he cranked up the volume to 11.
You are the epitome of weakness. You are the scum of the earth. The fact that you even...
He labeled Jake Paul not just as a disgrace, but as a dark stain on the very fabric of traditional combat sports.
You are the epitome of weakness. You are the scum of the earth.
Strickland's biting words echo the deep-seated frustrations within the fighting community, like someone bringing a water gun to a sword fight and calling it a duel.
The fact that you even have a platform or anything of that nature is a slight on society. you truly make me disgusted. And if I ever encounter you in real life, I hope that I just don't lose my and go to prison.
His unapologetically blunt critique serves as a stark reminder that, in the eyes of many purists, celebrity matches are more sideshow spectacle than honorable combat.
Tough. If Jake Paul can survive 3 rounds with the extra weight he's put on, he may have a chance, but he's going to survive the first 3 rounds.
Roy Jones also weighed in, focusing on the tactical missteps of Jake Paul's approach. He pointed out that Jake's added bulk might just slow him down rather than bolster his punch against a juggernaut like Tyson. Jones emphasized that while extra weight might sound advantageous on paper, in the ring it translates to decreased stamina and endurance-critical flaws when you're up against a seasoned veteran whose blows are like freight trains. It seems Jake might have misunderstood heavyweight as just a suggestion on the scale, not a strategic challenge against someone of Tyson's caliber.
If Tyson's taking a dive, if Tyson hits him, it's over. So, hey, by the way, last thing to go with power.
Even Chuck Liddell chimed in, reminding everyone of Tyson's legendary power, a factor that could end the fight with a single punch, reflecting on the psychological edge that Tyson's reputation alone brings to the ring.
If Mike take it serious and want to do some harm to Jake Paul, I don't think Jake Paul can stop him.
Antonio Tarver gave a chilling analysis, hinting that if Mike Tyson had truly decided to unleash his full fury, Jake Paul wouldn't stand a chance. Tarver's ominous words highlight the sheer danger of the matchup, painting a grim picture of what awaited Jake in the ring, a scenario potentially more akin to a survival horror game than a sporting contest. For many fans, seeing Tyson back in the ring is like watching a living legend rewrite the final chapters of his storied career. As the fight between Tyson and Paul draws nearer, the anticipation continues to build. Both fighters have their own reasons for wanting to win. For Paul, a victory over Tyson would solidify his place in the boxing world and silence his doubters once and for all.
You would go, holy shit, look at this guy. This guy's fun. He's wild. He wears all this flashy jewelry. He's got crazy tattoos everywhere, and he knocks people unconscious. And he's knocked a bunch of former MMA champions unconscious. Wow. Knocked Ben Askren unconscious, which is, Ben Askren was not really a striker. But the point is, like, Nate Simmons, that basketball player, did you see that fight?
No.
Oh, my God, dude. This is when I was telling people, I'm like, hey, man, he can fight. Like, really fight. I know Nate is a basketball player, and he's, like, really athletic and probably out of his element in a boxing match, but he took it because he really believes in himself. But Jake Paul is actually a better boxer. But watch what he does, the way he does it, the way he lands these shots. These are real punches, that, like, elite caliber of technique. Like, he's got the thing. He's got, first of all, he's got one punch knockout power, which is odd. It's an odd thing to have. Not everybody gets it.
For Tyson, a win would be a fitting end to a career that has been defined by triumph and tragedy. But beyond the individual narratives, this fight represents something greater. It is a clash of generations, a meeting of two eras of boxing. It is a testament to the enduring appeal of the sport and the ability of its athletes to captivate and inspire. Whether you're rooting for Jake Paul or Mike Tyson, one thing is certain: when these two fighters step into the ring, the world will be watching.
Mike Tyson's a one-punch killer. Deontay Wilder's the greatest one-puncher of all time.
Do you think Tyson is such a genetic freak that his 57 may not have declined from his prime as much as a normal person?
Yes, and science. So here's the difference. A 57-year-old today is on testosterone replacement
That's
therapy.
the other thing I was going to ask, yeah.
It's not 57 in the Jack Johnson days. We're talking about 57 in the days of biological engineering.
Adding to this narrative, Joe Rogan, a prominent voice in the combat sports community, has shared his thoughts on the matchup. Rogan acknowledges the skepticism surrounding Jake Paul's boxing skills, particularly among those who dismiss him as just a YouTube personality. However, Rogan argues that Paul has shown real skill and potential in the ring, pointing to his technique, movement, and counter-punching ability as evidence of his boxing acumen. Rogan also highlights Tyson's continued relevance and prowess despite his age. He discusses the advancements in sports science and hormonal treatments that have allowed athletes like Tyson to maintain a level of fitness and performance that would have been unheard of in previous eras.
You're able to do all kinds of stuff with his human growth hormone levels, with the use of peptides, with the use of testosterone. The difference between a young man and an old man, there's a bunch of them, right? But a lot of it is hormonal. A lot of it is like how much you've been using the body. There's older people that are in incredible shape that don't do anything like as far as hormone replacement. They have just never stayed off the grind, and they're diligent with their nutrition and their supplementation, and they sleep well, and they drink a lot of water, and they're in incredible shape, like deep into their 50s. Those are rare. Those are the outliers, right?
Rogan believes that Tyson's genetic gifts and dedication to training make him a formidable opponent, even at his age. In a recent discussion, Joe Rogan shared his perspective on a hypothetical scenario where Mike Tyson emerges victorious in his upcoming fight against Jake Paul. Rogan painted a vivid picture of Tyson's fighting style and the potential outcome of the bout. Rogan began by acknowledging Tyson's reputation as a one-punch killer, highlighting his rare ability to end fights with a single devastating blow. He compared Tyson's power to that of Deontay Wilder, known for his unparalleled one-punch knockout ability. Rogan emphasized that Tyson's genetic gifts and unique fighting style set him apart from other fighters, even in his 50s.
A 57-year-old today that's on hormone replacement and you're eating well and taking a lot of vitamins and creatine and you're using all these strategies like red light therapy and saunas and cold plunge, that's a different thing, man. And Mike Tyson's that different thing.
Right.
Like, he could fuck him up. It could be one of those fights where Mike Tyson gets him in a corner and connects with a punch and Jake Paul just goes limp.
Mike Tyson, what he does is two-dimensional. He's going to come at you, trying to knock you out.
He's still that guy. If you watch him hit mitts, the thing is, can he close the gap? Can he move?
As a quickness point.
He has problems with his back. He's had sciatic problems to the point where a year or so ago, he was walking with a cane.
Now, you got to try and stay away from him.
You know, but when I look at him hit the pads, and he's hitting pads with this guy, Rafael Cordeiro, who's a legendary MMA trainer. He comes from Shoot to Box in Brazil. Curitiba, Brazil created like one of the wildest, most aggressive mixed martial arts fighters ever. Anderson Silva, Vanderlei Silva, Murilo Shogun, all these guys who came out of there were monsters. And Rafael Cordeiro is from that camp. He was an elite Thai boxer, and then he became an elite MMA trainer. And so he's the guy working with Mike Tyson. And so he's holding mitts with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson is smashing those mitts.
That's what I saw in that
So this
video,
is like right now, 57-year-olds. See if you can find some of that. Not the older stuff, but the newer stuff. It's because it's on his Instagram. And, you know,
looked pretty serious.
Yeah, he's like, day 2, still want to with me?
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, I'm 100% rooting for Mike Tyson.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Of course. Everybody should be. And, you know, Jake Paul is he's probably a little scared. You know, as much as he thinks he's the younger guy and he's a tough guy and he's a really good boxer and he'd probably be able to do. Look at this.
Yeah.
Give me some volume.
Terrifying.
Murder Jake Paul, but it's bullshit, man. It's I mean, how old is Mike Tyson? 60?
57.
57. Jake Paul,
27.
You are a disgrace of a man.
Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I like yeah. Hey, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the out.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. I thought, did you start training already?
But if that Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not going to make it. So you have to say,
hey, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the fuck out.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky.
And you're apprehensive. And once you're apprehensive, it's over with.
Please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please.
boy, he's gonna regret that. All the old guys are like pulling for him, like, come on, Mike, come on, one more, you got one more in you.
Hey, I'll do just that for you.
Even coming off the best, I still think he wins. Coming off.
It's hard to say because you never bet against a 27-year-old
No, I get it.
fighting a 58-year-old.
The clash of styles and the contrast in experience between the two fighters make for a compelling narrative, one that has captured the imagination of fans and pundits alike. Whether Tyson's power will prove decisive against Paul remains to be seen, but Rogan's vivid description adds an extra layer of anticipation to this highly anticipated matchup. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe to stay updated. We'll keep you informed with the latest news, insights, and analysis from the world of sports and entertainment. Don't miss out on future discussions and predictions. Hit that subscribe button now.